Get it, amen, show with no namers. Now, how about a hallelujah? That's right. All aboard. It's the show with no name. Time for liftoff. Let's go. 5, 4, 3. Come on.
2, 1.
Here we go.
Ignition. Liftoff.
Come on.
Liftoff. 30 minutes after the hour.
All right, we've got this, folks. We've got this. Here we go.
Get ready. Hold on to your hat. Strap on your seatbelt. Fasten your seatbelts.
And
hold on to your hat. Get ready for the ride of your life. The show with no name time on Vaughn Radio. Come on.
Let's go. Come on. Let's rock and roll, amigos. Let's have some fun. Let's party. This is your entertaining English extravaganza. And I've got to say, people listen to Vaughn Radio everywhere and anywhere. And how do I know that? Well, this morning, I was at the gym. Vamos a fijarnos en las preposiciones. I was at the gym in the sauna. And, somebody said, hey, wait a second. You know, amid the smoke, amid the smoke, well, it's not really smoke. It's steam, vapor. Somebody said, hey, wait a second. I know your voice. You're that guy from Vaughn Radio. And I said, yeah, that's me. Hi, nice to meet you. My name is Guy from Vaughn Radio. Wow, that's awesome, guys, that I'm, at the sauna trying to get better. And we find a Vaughn Radio listener. I found Vaughn Radio listeners far and wide, all over this world. And just remember, folks, the best way to tune into Vaughn Radio is via the Vaughn Radio app. If you can't find us on your local signal, you'll always be able to find us at the Vaughn Radio app. It's a free app, and you can download it on your cell phone, my amigos. Also, we've got a link if you're looking for courses. ¿Quieres estar al tanto de todas nuestras promociones en la Vaughan Esfera? Well, now you can be in the loop. Puedes estar al tanto. Puedes enterarte de ofertas, novedades y eventos. Y mucho más. Puedes encontrar todo eso en grupovaughan.com/cursos destacados. Eso es, en grupovaughan.com/cursos destacados. Ahí tendrás toda la información de última hora. Guárdalo como favorito. grupovaughan.com/cursos destacados. And stay in the loop. All right, amigos, it's grupovaughns.com/cursos destacados. That's for courses. If you're looking for materials, then you've got to go to vaughntienda.com. And speaking of materials, we usually take a look at one of the materials from the Vaughn Tienda in our pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Sing it. Pop quiz. Come on. Yeah. Come on. Let's go. Pop quiz. Sing it. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. That's right, amigos. If you love a good challenge, and I know you do, if you love a good challenge, don't forget, mark your calendars. It's coming up. It is just a little over a month. Well, what's today's? Yeah, it's about a month away. It is Vaughn Radio Trivia Night, hosted by Kyle Miller. Mark your calendars for November 6th. It's Wednesday, the 6th of November, 2024, at Real Madrid, and it's going to be hosted by my good friend Kyle Miller. Since many of you ask, it's a free event. First come, first served. So, si no hay sitio, llega antes, por supuesto. And it's November 6th, 2024, at Real Madrid, hosted by your buddy, my buddy, our buddy, Kyle Miller. All right, everybody, listen up. Well, I mean, listen up. And also, the name of today's material is Listen Up. And the subtitle is Mejora tu comprensión auditiva del inglés. Listen up. It's got 88 paragraphs and over 2 hours of audio in those paragraphs. And, well, it tests, your comprehension. So let's do it. Let's listen up. And then after, I'll have a challenge or two for you.
Commuting to work. What a dilemma. And now the vocabulary.
To commute.
Viajar diariamente al trabajo.
To change.
Cambiar.
To travel or go by.
Viajar. Ir en.
To move house.
Mudarse.
To cycle.
Montar. Ir en bici.
Carpool.
Compartir el coche.
After moving house, I now have to commute to work. The only thing is, I have a dilemma. I can't decide how to commute. I should travel by train, but I have to change twice and it's quite expensive. I would cycle, but it's too cold in winter. I could drive, but I would have to buy and maintain a car, and that's just extra hassle. Going by train, I could kill 2 birds with 1 stone. I'd travel and would also be able to do some work on the train at the same time. My friend is in a carpool and loves it. This would be a great idea, but it seems unreliable. I should live closer. It would be so much simpler.
I've lost my ticket on the train. And now the vocabulary.
To lose.
Perder.
Ticket.
Billete.
Fine.
Multa.
To bribe.
Sobornar.
A bribe.
Un soborno.
To realize.
Darse cuenta.
Ticket inspector.
Revisor.
Journey.
Viaje.
To get off.
Bajarse.
I've just realized I've lost my train ticket. It's not in my bag anymore. I'm still on the train, and the ticket inspector hasn't checked mine yet. I've already set off on my journey, so if he finds me without one, even though I've lost it, I will still have to pay a fine. I could try to bribe him, but I don't think ticket inspectors accept bribes, and it would still be cheaper to buy a ticket. I will have to get off at the next train station and buy a new one. I can't believe it. I've really got off on the wrong foot today.
¿Conoces Weekend Town? La nueva iniciativa de Vaughan.
Pues no.
Es un fin de semana de inmersión en inglés. Y es nuevísimo.
A ver, cuéntame más.
Tendrás una inmersión lingüística total durante 2 días. Un total de 24 horas hablando con angloparlantes de todo el mundo.
¡Wow! ¡Qué interesante!
Ganarás confianza y soltura a la hora de comunicarte en inglés. Mejorarás tu comprensión auditiva y tus habilidades conversacionales en una situación de comunicación real en inglés. Ven a Weekend Town y te sorprenderás con todo lo que puede avanzar tu inglés en un fin de semana. Weekend Town de Vaughan. un fin de semana de inmersión en inglés. More information about Weekend Town, Vaughn Town, and all our towns, masters, all our courses, all our initiatives, go to grupovaughn.com/ do you know the rest? You should know it. Cursos destacados. That's right. Also, if you're following us on social media, it's another way to be in the know. Enterado, amigos. To be in the know. Great expression if you didn't know it. Also, what else? I had something else to tell you. Oh, right. Question of the week. We've got question of the week, and nobody has participated yet. I get it. It's still early in the week. But my question for you this week, where you get to express yourself in English, is: have you ever had an epiphany? Have you ever had an epiphany? And explain. Of course, if you have an epiphany, tell us about it, if you've had one. If you haven't had one, well, you can also tell us that too. The idea is always introduce yourself. No matter how many times you've participated, it's always great to know who we're listening to. So, hey, it's Franklin. I'm just checking in. Hello, show with no namers. I had an epiphany when I was 18 years old. I realized I was at a job I didn't like and I was unhappy in a relationship, whatever. That's your job, to express yourself in English. My job is to help you. So if I see that you're making some mistakes, or I can help you with your pronunciation, with your syntaxes, well, that's what that's all about. So you can participate. Get me that 1-minute voice note before Thursday evening, and we'll hear from you on Friday on our question of the week section. And this week, as I said, it's: have you ever had an epiphany? And explain. All right. Also, let me give you your challenges in today's pop quiz. I hope you enjoyed that little audio clip from Listen Up, and I hope you listened up. Fijaos, ¿qué he hecho con la D? I hope you listened up. I hope you listened up. La D no va con listened. Va con up. I hope you listened up. Dilo conmigo. Did you? Did you listen up? Did you listen up? No es listen up, it's listen up. O sea, la N va con el up al final. Y eso muchísimas veces en el inglés. So I want you to pay attention to those little nuances there, those little things that make English English and not Spanish, right? And in the end, I always say that when people say, oh, it's just a minor detail. The devil is in the details. Eso es el detalle es todo, right? Si la puedes cagar o hacer bien en los detalles. There's a wonderful book, a classic book if you work in marketing or business, and it's called The Tipping Point. Very interesting, even if you don't. I don't work in marketing, and it's a fascinating book. It's by Malcolm Gladwell, and I would say it's like a must-read. It's called The Tipping Point. Great, great book. And obviously, you can get it in audiobook format. That's up to you guys, right? Some of you are like, well, I don't really have time to read, but I can, since I'm commuting, I can listen to the audiobook. Well, great. That's a wonderful option as well. All right. So number one, they said something in the audio about compartir vehículo, right? We mentioned this, I think, last week. We said something about el busbao, right? Is that what you call it? El carril. There's a lane. La palabra carril is lane in English. There's a lane where you shouldn't go in it if there's only one person in the car. It's only if you're carrying several people with you. And that's called, también en inglés, el carril comparte vehículo. All right, so it's the same word. So I want to know if you got it and if you can use it in context. The good thing, it's a noun or a verb. So you can make it, you can verbify it, as we say, as well. Did you catch the word? We looked at it last week, if I'm not mistaken, but we'll review it today. Okay? So, compartir el vehículo, okay? Compartir vehículo, ya. Un sistema de same thing. Compartir vehículo, no nos vamos a complicar. The second word is engorro, dificultad, problema, confusión. Okay? So, molestia también. Yeah. So, molestia también. Yeah. So, something difficult, something troublesome, something nobody wants to deal with. It's used a lot, speaking of marketing, it's used a lot in marketing, this noun. Okay? Oh, well, it's a noun and a verb. That's the great thing about English. So we'll take a look at it in depth. But if you know this word, engorro, dificultad, molestia, molestar, fastidiar. Also, a lot of times in marketing, as I said, it's used to say sin esto, sin complicaciones. Sencillo, fácil, ¿no? Sin confusión, sin engorro. Used very, very often. That is number 2. And number 3 is, well, an expression that you have. It's quite similar, but not exactly the same. You say, matar dos pájaros de un tiro. Do you know it in English? It's similar. It's not exactly the same, but it's quite similar. Matar dos pájaros de un tiro. All right, that is your third challenge. And use it in context. When do you do that in life? Like me, I catch up on my podcasts while I'm at the gym. No, estoy en el gimnasio, pues estoy escuchando los podcasts que la vida no me da tiempo escuchar. Because, you got to do stuff in life. That's the way it works. So, number 1, compartir vehículo. Number 2, molestia, fastidiar, molestar, complicación, right? And the last one is an expression that means to get 2 things done at the same time. Very similar to this idea we always talk about of multitasking. All right. There you go, folks. Those are your pop quiz challenges over there. Hopefully you guys will be able to figure them out. Let's go on over to our chat room. I see we've got some students joining us here who are ready to learn, to laugh, and have some fun. As many of you can probably hear, I sound a lot better than yesterday. I'm still a little bit congested, but you know what? I think going to the gym, honestly, it helped me tremendously. Because this morning, when I woke up, I said, oh man, my voice is still pretty weak. I had a lot of phlegm. I was still feeling a little bit tired. And then I hit the gym. Now, hit en este caso no es pegar, es acudir. It's totally native. So I hit the gym. My heartbeat started going up. My heart rate, ¿cómo se dice? No, my heart rate or my heartbeat started going up. My blood started pumping through my veins. And I feel great. And I don't want to get too graphic here, but I celebrated this with my wife. She's like, okay, whatever. Like a lot of phlegm came out. And that's a great thing. As we say in English, better out than in. You know what? The guy in the sauna said, I forgot to get your name. The guy in the sauna said, man, I love you because you're crazy. And I said, yeah, that's me. That's the one. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you caught me there. That's how I know you got the right program, right? All right. Born to Iron Man. There he is, our spelling bee champion of the world. And he says, morning show with no namers. Good morning to you, Born to Iron Man. Hope you are doing well this awesome morning. As I said, I'm not 100%, but let's say I'm at like 95%, which is great. This is awesome. I'm sure you can hear it in my voice. It's still a little bit hoarse, un poco ronco, but it's not nearly, I'm not forcing. No tengo que forzar tanto como ayer. So whether you know it or not, I can feel it, and believe me. You're in bed, you're lying in bed. What's the first thing you think to yourself? You think, oh man, I'm just going to stay in bed. I don't really feel well. This will make me feel better if I rest. But sometimes quite the opposite. Sometimes it's just like, all right, shake it up, man. Remueve ese cuerpo un poco. Ya verás cómo sale todo. Shake it up. All right, let's see. There's Laura in the house. Lovely Laura, bringing her magic as always. Laura says, good morning. Lovely show with no namers. Let's spend 2 magical hours of edutainment together. Absolutely, Laura. It's a pleasure to have you with us as always. Let's see. Franklin, what's up, Franklin? Great to have you with us here on board. Franklin says, gracias de corazón, Alberto. Eres un gran mentor en el inglés. De hecho, me gusta cómo enseñas y la energía que le pones, que es contagiosa. Yo soy guía y todos los días estoy conectado a la radio Vaughan. Awesome. Great, Franklin. That's wonderful. A, thank you so much for listening. And B, thanks for letting me know. No solo que nos escuchas, pero has comentado y has saludado. So, Franklin, great. Thank you for joining us. So I imagine, I don't know here, I'm just going to take a stab in the dark. Voy a adivinar sin saber mucho aquí. A stab in the dark. A tour guide, guía de turística, a tour guide. That's great. That's definitely somebody who needs to know English, right? And not just English, needs to know like a couple jokes, a couple puns, no, unos juegos de palabra. Nunca viene mal, right? It's never a bad thing. And I know this too. A tour guide can make or break an experience, just like a bad or a good teacher, right? If you have a good tour guide, you will fall in love with the Vatican, with the pyramids of Giza, with the Panama Canal. If you have a good tour guide, if you have somebody who makes it interesting, it's like if you go to New York with me, or if you just, go to New York on your own. If you go with me, I'm not going to shut up. I'm just going to tell you this. Oh, do you know this? And this corner, this is where this movie was filmed. And did you know this? And the other, and it makes the experience come alive. So thank you, Franklin, Laura, Born to Iron Man, and all our show with no namers who are learning with us. And as I told you the other day, it's absolutely mind-blowing when I look at FYI, because I don't have the statistics, the show with no name statistics, but I do have the FYI statistics. And we've got listeners in Tel Aviv, guys. I know that's crazy. Be safe, right? People in that problematic area. If you're learning English with us and you're hearing my voice right now, be safe. Be safe. And everywhere, United States, British Columbia, Asia, even Tierra de Fuego, Argentina, there are people learning English with us. Oh, and another milestone, and maybe you guys can help me right now. Right now, here, I'll give you a number. Vamos a hacer un listening exercise con un número. I'm just going to say it once. Let's see if anybody can get it. FYI has 699,521 downloads. Did you get the number? That's how many downloads. Now, if you were paying attention to that number, and if you got it down, that is really close to 700,000 downloads. 700,000. So what can I say except, wow. And a million is not too far away. Wow. I can't believe it. The day that I'm able to say FYI has over 1 million downloads. That's wow. I mean, just 700,000 is a feat, una hazaña. But wow, 1 million, just that word just sounds, like astronomical, right? Laura, you got the number. Excellent job. Laura's on the ball. 699,521. 699,521. Acuérdate, eso va separado por una coma y no un punto como en español. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got to go to a quick commercial break. We'll be right back with part 2. Stick around. Hey, welcome back. Welcome back, amigos. This is the show with no name here on Vaughn Radio, where English is exciting, interactive, and free. Oh, by the way, if you didn't check it out, well, yesterday they released a video, U.S. Embassy Madrid. If you guys have Instagram, you can check it out. I also shared it on my Instagram. My Instagram is Alberto_Alonso. And we did a collaboration playing with movie titles. Títulos de película. Oh, yeah. Lots of fun with movie titles. Uh-huh. We do a little game where I give you movie titles that were translated kind of loosely, por decirlo. And I got to see how well. Chris Valrol, you would love it. It's right up your alley. Justo lo que te mola a ti. Check it out on my Instagram, or you can go to U.S. Embassy Madrid, and you can find it on their Instagram as well. All right, what have we got to do now? I know, it's the Say What soundbite. Say what? What? All right. Say what soundbite. All right. Say what soundbite. Okay, folks. It's the Say What soundbite here on the show with no name. This is where we hear a famous person speaking, and you guys have to tell me what the is going on. ¿Qué ocurre? What's going on in this scene? I just gave you a little clue. It's a scene from a movie, an awesome scene from an awesome movie. And I remember this was, it's funny. The movie reminds me of my grandparents. A lot of movies remind me of my grandparents. Do you know why? Because my grandmother, one of the places she always took us religiously. No, not church. Yeah, she took us to mass. But no, there was another place she took us even more than church. A place where you can go anywhere you want, where the world is at your fingertips. Nope, not the airport, the library. My grandmother took us to the library all the time. And we used to take out books. We used to take out magazines and stuff. And we would also take out VHS, right? Videos. I remember my grandma, said, Blockbuster, why? Why would I pay if it's free at the library? I miss them every day, my grandparents. Great people. And as you can see, wonderful grandparents taking their grandkids to the library, setting a great example, right? And I remember we took out this movie, and I remember watching it with my grandparents, and I remember us cracking up at this scene. And, it's one of those scenes that you say over and over in pop culture. So the movie's got a lot of good lines, but I think this one takes the cake. Este se lleva la palma. All right, is everybody ready? Here's your Say What soundbite for the first time. Let's see what you guys come up with.
What for?
He's got a knife.
That's not a knife. That's a knife.
Shit.
Just kids having fun. You all right?
All right, so you've got a lot of space in there where there's action happening, obviously. You can probably hear what's happening and put two and two together. La expresión put two and two together es, pues, adivinar basado en lo que hay, right? And, well, you might even recognize the accent. I'm interested in the accent today, especially. And, well, I won't say too much else. Let's play it for you a second time, and then we can go over what you guys heard. Here it is, your Say What soundbite, round 2.
What for?
He's got a knife.
That's not a knife. That's a knife.
Shit.
Just kids having fun. You all right?
Hey, Damian, what's crack-a-lackin', buddy?
Hey, Alberto, I was planning to do some sports this week. What about playing baseball?
Ooh, baseball. I love it. But I'm not sure yet. Can we touch base next week?
Touch base. Estamos en contacto, ¿no? Hablamos en algún momento. Yeah, okay. Let's touch base. Okay, what about basketball? Do you want to play basketball?
Oh, man, I love basketball. It's one of my favorite sports. But I don't know if I can this weekend because I've already got plans. Oh, man, that's the way the ball bounces.
That's the way the ball bounces. Así están las cosas, ¿no? Así bota la pelota. Así bota la pelota. That's the way the ball bounces. I love that expression. Okay, what about tennis? Do you want to play tennis?
Well, I love tennis, but I'm not really a good player. If you don't mind playing with a novice, the ball's in your court, buddy.
La bola está en mi campo, ¿eh? La pelota está en mi tejado. All right. Do you want to play some soccer?
Sure, I'd love to play some soccer or football, as you call it. What time do we kick off?
Perfect. We're kicking off at 9. Are you available?
Sure, but I might have to play some golf before with some friends. It's par for the course.
It's par for the course. Es lo normal, ¿no? Es lo normalito, lo que se hace. Okay, what about billiards? Do you like playing billiards?
Yeah, but right now I'm behind the 8 ball.
I'm behind the 8 ball. Estás detrás de la bola 8, como que llevas las de perder.
Yeah. Wow, a lot of idiomatic expressions here.
Muy buenas expresiones. Si es que así da gusto aprender inglés con un profe como Alberto y un poquito de creatividad, tienes This Book is the Shit. El mejor libro para aprender inglés que te has echado a la cara in your life. Píllatelo, vas a disfrutar mogollón de dibujos para que lo aprendas todo fácil, con conexiones lógicas y divertidas. Es la manera más sencilla y más divertida de aprender inglés. No te la pierdas.
Damián, you're such a good sport. Te enrollas. You can pick up your copy of This Book is the Shit at
Vaughantienda.com.
It's the shit. That's right, amigos. My latest book, This Book is the Shit. It's available at vaughantienda.com, and wherever fine books are sold, ladies and gentlemen. So check it out. Also today in our pop quiz, which we're going to go to right now, we looked at some stuff from the book Listen Up. Mejora tu comprensión auditiva del inglés. It's 88 paragraphs with audio, and it deals with English comprehension. All right, amigos, let's see what you came up with in our pop quiz and also in our Say What soundbite. Let's see. Chris says, morning, dear show with no namers. Morning to you, Chris. Laura says, keep up the great work, AA. Thank you very much, Laura. Franklin says, that's a big number, Alberto. Congratulations. Yeah, I know. 700,000. Like, wow. You know? And, well, for me, when we hit 10,000, I was like, what? And then 100,000 and then 500. And I said, what is going on here? I guess people like FYI. Remember last week, we took a look at the verb take. Well, this week, we haven't yet. We're going to take a look at the verb come. So remember, every week on FYI, we pick apart, we dissect a different verb, and we're going to go through the most essential verbs. So you can get that wherever you get your Vaughn podcasts. It comes out every Friday at 7 a.m. I know it because I've got it scheduled. Eso es un amigo falso. It's not programmed. That's more like a computer, right? I've programmed it so that it, right? No, I scheduled it. No, sale en tal horario. So it's scheduled for Friday a.m., 7 a.m., bright and early. This way you can take a look at a new verb every weekend or every week ahead. That's up to you, amigos. But yeah, take, wow, come. These are verbs you need to know inside and out. And we get to know them on For Your Inglés, FYI. All right, let's see. Chris Valrol is participating in our pop quiz. Let's see what she says. She says, I arranged a carpool for visiting my cousins. The only thing is I would say to visit, ¿no? Con el fin de visitar. So I arranged a carpool to visit my cousins. Great. Yeah, for visiting is como con el fin de, right? So here I would say to visit. El propósito, right? I arranged a carpool to visit my cousins. Great. Yeah, save gas, right? Fewer cars on the road is always better, isn't it? Right? Especially if you're in traffic. You're thinking to yourself, why couldn't neighbors just, who work near each other, just carpool? So the verb is to carpool. And we looked at it, I remember, because we looked at the word pool. And I know you know piscina. De hecho, por favor, no digas swimming pool. Nadie dice eso. It's just pool. Swimming, del contexto se sabe que es de nadar. And that we're not talking about a cesspool, que es un pozo negro, a cesspool, right? So, pool. A pool is un pozo. Puesta del ganador. Una porra, you call it, right? Deadpool, la porra de la muerte. Deadpool, right? No tiene que ver con piscina en ese caso. So, if we pool our resources, esto es hacer porra, ¿no? Unir. We've pooled our resources. Same idea. We're going to carpool. Piensa, en una piscina se meten todos. It's a good way to remember, to associate the words. Is everybody going to be in this pool? Todo el mundo viene a la porra. Para nosotros es la piscina. Okay? And I know you've heard of the character Deadpool. Well, his cousin's name is Carpool. All right. Not funny. Not funny at all. Yeah, I know. I want you to meet my cousin, Carpool. So, yes, great. All right, the next one. Cleaning the extractor hood is a hassle. Oh, yeah. It is. That's the word, hassle. So wait a second. If you remember this, then you'll remember David Hasselhoff always hassles me. Siempre me está fastidiando David Hasselhoff. Hey, si te ayuda. It's an absurd sentence, I know. So, hassle. And in the way it's used in marketing many times is hassle-free. No, libre de problemas, no, fácil de usar, right? Hassle-free. We'll install it. The installation is hassle-free, right? Nobody needs the hassle, right? You can do it without hassle. Stop hassling me. It's a regular verb, right? Hassled. Let's see. Great job so far, Chris. The next one. If you listen to Vaughn Radio and the show with no name, you're going to kill two birds with one stone. You learn much more than English. Chris, a model student. All right. Wonderful. Chris says, bravo, double A. You are, and I think the sobra una D ahí. You are an eager beaver. You deserve it. Estás un poco anticuada, pero me encanta. Eager beaver. Sí, alguien entusiasta. Es como juego de palabras. No tiene nada que ver con un castor, realmente. So great one, Chris. You deserve it. Thank you. Well, listen, you know me. I'm not necessarily resting on my laurels. I've always got new things on the horizon, because the same way I tell you guys to leave your comfort zone and to keep challenging yourself, I keep having to remind myself of that too, right? To, get out of your comfort zone, try new things, and that's awesome. So thank you, Chris. Thank you. When you think about the fact that FYI started in my daughter's bedroom during a very difficult time for everyone, and wow, something beautiful came out of that. Something that's given over 700,000 people now, English insight. That's great. That makes me feel awesome. All right, let's see. Chris says movies. Did someone say movies? Well, Chris, I just found the link and I shared it. So if you guys want to see that video I filmed with the U.S. Embassy Madrid, you can check it out. I shared the link on Instagram here in our chat room. Laura says, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? I guess I said that before. I don't remember. Excuse my short memory. What's going on? Maybe I said it before, but it's a great song. I'm just trying to figure out the context, but I imagine I said it. So I'll take your word for it. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? There's Gloria. Gloria says, morning, guys. What's up, Gloria? Welcome. She says, I don't have time today. You don't have to tell me that story. I know the feeling. I know the feeling. And I wake up at the crack of dawn. So I think we're taking on too much, right? When you don't have time to take care of yourself and stuff like that, that was my problem last year. Okay, I was doing my job good and everything, but I wasn't taking care of myself. I wasn't going to the gym. I wasn't doing exercise as much as I should, maybe not eating the right foods. And this summer I had an epiphany. Like, dude, none of this matters if you're sick, right? Not FYI, not the show with no name, not fucking anything. It means nothing if you're sick. So take care of yourself. And Lara needs a strong dad who can pick her up with one arm and fling her around in circles. So finally, I got my shit together. Si no queremos ser vulgares, you can say, I got my act together, right? My shit or my act. Get your shit together. Get your act together. Get it together. Lo puedes decir así también, es ponte las pilas. And I did. I feel great. I feel great. It's hard, though. It's hard. So, Gloria, I hope at least, even though you're limited on time, like I think everybody I know, make sure you have time for what's important. Your health and your English. So she says, I'm on my way to piano class. Well, that's good. Things that make you feel good. I just wanted to share the equivalent to kill two birds with one stone. Great. That's the expression. I have to kill two birds with one stone. She says, my American friend says to feed two birds with one scone. I like it. Because I always said to myself, this is pretty violent. You know, why are we killing birds? You know? But I like it. I like it. To feed two birds, it sounds the same when you say it, to feed two birds with one scone. A scone es un bollito, un bizcochito pequeño. I love it. I'd never heard it, Gloria. It's a new one for me. The real expression, though, for those of you who want to use it, to kill two birds with one stone. All right. Wonderful job. So the words were carpool, which again, we now know that we can use pool as a verb. We're pooling money, right? Are you going to be in our pool? No significa en nuestra piscina, sino en nuestra porra. It's very common, you know, with soccer. It's common with birthdays, or if you're all chipping in. To chip in es cada uno poner de su parte. Great phrasal verb. Then you're pooling your efforts. So you get the idea behind the word pool. All right. Number 2 was hassle. Easy to remember. Just remember David Hasselhoff, fastidiándote. And the last one, very similar to Spanish. You say matar, same, kill two birds with one stone. You say de un tiro, con un tiro, we say con una piedra. So same kind of idea there. Let's see. Chris has got something to say about our Say What soundbite today. She says, I heard a brave Australian character. He really knows what a knife is and how to impress a woman. Great job. Wonderful, Chris. All right. Let's see. Laura says, I heard a scene from an action movie, correct, in which some people are being mugged. Great word. To be mugged is to be robbed, but usually with violence. Because if somebody pickpockets you, you probably don't realize it till later, right? But if you get mugged, give me your fucking money right now. It's more of a robo con asalto, no? To get mugged. Great word. Unfortunately, a word you hear a lot in New York City. Yeah. The mugger. He was mugged. The subway mugger. Mugging. Oh, it's the worst. So some people are being mugged. Great word. But one of them starts making fun of the the attacker's knife, in vez of the knife's attacker, right? The attacker's knife, as he's carrying a much bigger one himself. Absolutely. I'm sure many of you might even recognize the scene. It's a famous scene. And she says, I can't pinpoint the accent. Don't worry. Your amiga Chris Valrol has already done it for you. It's Australian, mate. Said I come from the land down under. It's Australian. You all right, mate? You all right? the movie now. Yeah. Yes. And wait a second, Laura. Unfreaking believable. Laura, you nailed it. You not only gave us a synopsis, but you got it after the second listen. Laura's our Say What soundbite winner. All right. Let's see. Laura says, I don't know why, but my pop quiz answers have disappeared. I don't know. You know what it might be, Laura? I was actually curious about that because you usually participate. So that's why I said, it's weird that Laura didn't participate today. I imagine, which I don't get it, because then that means that Gloria's and Chris Valrol's comment should have disappeared as well. But I imagine it's because it has the word kill in it, to kill two birds. No sé, si no me lo explico. But I love that YouTube censors an English class. Great job, YouTube. Woohoo! You guys are really doing justice. What a scam. Vaya timo. You're not even allowed to have free speech in your English class on YouTube. Isn't that awesome? Big thanks to Big Tech. Your day will come. Your day will come, Google. The game is almost over. Oh, man. Well, we already know. Big Tech, guys. Big Tech. Do you trust Big Tech? Really? Just take a look at what they do during elections. Mark Zuckerberg even admitted to it. So it's not even like, an allegation here. This is a real shit. They have manipulated elections and things. So do not trust these big platforms. And they don't let us learn English freely. They want to stop our English class because, they feel like they're the ones who should judge what we can say and what we can't say. So a big thanks to YouTube and their censorship. We love you. You're awesome, YouTube. Seriously. All right, folks, we're going to a quick commercial break. We'll be right back with tons more Show with No Name. So stick around. Hey, amigos, welcome back. Welcome back to part 3 of today's Show with No Name here on Vaughn Radio. Don't forget, right after today's show, you can learn English with Jimena Holiday. Her program is called Test Your English. And she'll do just that. She will test your English and make sure you've got what it takes. Que tenéis lo que requiere. After Jimena's class, you've got the Lunchtime Show with Rob Grams and Andy Vaughn. Then you've got Let's Get Random with Jules Linares. After Let's Get Random, you've got Speak Up with Ruby. Then The Salad with Dave Boys. Then for your commute home, you've got Drive Time with Kyle Miller. You guessed it, folks. Kyle Miller, great friend of mine, also hosting our upcoming trivia night, November 6th. Mark your calendars. November 6th, Kyle is hosting. Then you've got Chris Frank and his program, Frankly Speaking. Don't forget about Richard Vaughn and Richard Vaughn Live and La Hora Extra. And you can start your day with Rob Grams and the Pro Bow Show. Oh, and we've also got a show on weekends. What was that one called again?
Guess who's back? Back again. Yes, he's back. Tell a friend. Yes, he's back. 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 That's right. The Hour to Empower with Jessica Fernandez is back on Vaughn Radio.
Don't miss it, folks, every weekend, or you can download your favorite episodes of your favorite shows using the Vaughn Radio app. All right, amigos, it's time for Homophones on the Show with No Name.
Homophones, homophones on the show with no name. It's homophones time, cause homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. The show with no name. Homophones on the show with no name. Cause homophones time, cause homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. The show with no name. The show with no name. The show with no name.
That's right, amigos. It's Homophones only on the show with no name. And as always, we're going to take a look at two words right now. And we'll see. Maybe you'll find these words easy. Maybe you'll find them difficult. But we'll find out in just a moment. What I want to do is see if you, A, know the words, and B, see if you know if they sound exactly the same or not. The first word is mares. Mares. So, el mar Mediterráneo, pues los mares, las mares. You say el mar, la mar. Me cago en la mar salada. Vamos al mar, right? I know la is more poetic, right? If I'm not mistaken, right? A captain of a ship would say la mar, but normally you would say el mar. So you guys have some weird exceptions in your language as well. It's in a song. I can give you a clue. Travel the world and the seven. Everybody's looking for something. It's that word. I traveled the world and the seven. Las siete mares. There you go. And the second word is agarrar, coger, sujetar, tomar por fuerza. También entender. También incautar, ¿no? Embargar. So that is your set of words, I should say, for today's homophones. So the first word, mares, el plural de mar. And the second word, agarrar, sujetar, coger, aprovechar, tomar por fuerza. También es la palabra que usamos en la expresión carpe diem, cuando se traduce al inglés. Those are your homophones. Let's see if you're familiar with them. Also, let me give you our Say What soundbite here for the third time.
What for?
He's got a knife.
That's not a knife. That's a knife.
Shit.
Just kids having fun. You all right?
¿Te gustaría abrir puertas a nuevas oportunidades y estar listo para cualquier desafío? Con el máster de inglés del Grupo Vaughan podrás transformar tu futuro. Este programa intensivo te ayudará a dominar el inglés profesional, perfeccionar tu comunicación y ganar la confianza que necesitas para conseguir tus objetivos. Nuestros profesores Vaughan especializados te prepararán para afrontar en inglés todas las situaciones de comunicación en un entorno profesional. No dejes que el inglés sea una barrera. Invierte en tu futuro con el máster de inglés profesional del Grupo Vaughan. Llámanos al 91-133-5833 o entra en grupovaughan.com.
More information about our masters at grupovon.com/cursos destacados. You've got weekend, you've got full-time, you've got evening masters, and so many other amazing initiatives to help you learn English. All you have to do is go to grupovon.com/cursos destacados. If you want more information too about any of our courses, feel free to reach out on social media, contactar por las redes, or whatever's easier for you. You can even go to that website, donde dice contáctanos, contact us, well, you can reach out there. All right, let's go on over here and see how you did on your homophones section over here. Let's see. Chris says, I translate eager beaver as currante. Yep, it says here entusiasta o currante. So both are you saying entusiasta was wrong, or porque aquí te pone entusiasta o trabajador diligente, currante? Yeah, look, in Argentina, laburante. I like it. We even learned some Argentine here. So yeah, an eager beaver is just somebody who is very enthusiastic, sometimes too much, where you're like, all right, eager beaver, calm down, right? So yes, it can be a hard worker or, anybody who's just overexcited. So that's why I used more entusiasta, porque engloba más el término en general. But yeah, it says here currante works as well. Aunque yo lo usaría también fuera de un ambiente de laboral. That's what I mean. So creo que se queda más corto ese la palabra. Excuse me. Let's see. Chris says, you never can tell with YouTube. Oh, yeah. These, well, you can tell. That's the thing, Chris. You can always tell. They censor things that they don't like, that their masters tell them to censor, right? I mean, it's obvious. And what I've noticed throughout history, and I'm no expert, the censorers are never the good guys. Los que están censurando nunca son los buenos. That look at it in history. Don't, it's not my opinion here. This is like, if you're on the side of censorship, you're usually the bad guy. So YouTube, you're the bad guy. Or Alphabet, or whatever the hell you want to call yourself to clean your name, you're bad. You're bad. Yes, you are. And one day, tomorrow, you're going to go on YouTube and be like, Alberto's account has been removed. No sería el primero por criticarles. Yeah, hey. Freedom of speech, except on our platforms. Except on our platforms, guys, okay? You can speak your mind in the street, but not on the internet, okay? It's dangerous to speak your mind. You might go against the narrative, right? All right, now I'll move on. You can see how I feel about censorship, right? And do I believe that everything should be available to everybody on the web, pornography? No, but I believe there's a middle ground between censoring conversations between people in an English class. I mean, does that make any sense at all? Or is that just extreme censorship? Well, there you go. So YouTube, again, I know you're probably got these robots, these bots that listen to what I'm saying. And YouTube, you guys are the bad guys. I can't say it clearer. Google, YouTube, you are the bad guys. Guys, if you don't see me here tomorrow, we'll continue on Facebook. But Mark Zuckerberg, you are the bad guy too. All right, now mañana vamos a desaparecer. I don't give a fuck, honestly. I'll do it. I'll find another platform. Hay más, right? En vez de YouTube, hay uno que se llama Rumble. You're not going to keep me down, but I've thought about it many times, leaving YouTube, Facebook, because honestly, they're disgusting platforms. They are really disgusting platforms. And I don't think too many people You know, when they started, oh, Google, it's great. You have your calendar, you have everything all together. Yeah, and they've got all your information in one spot now. So, yeah, it's convenient. And yeah, they're paying attention to what time you go to the bathroom. Yeah, well, they sell that information. You are the product, amigos. All right, let's take a look. Born to Iron Man is the first one to participate in our homophones section. And he gives us the correct words, and he says they sound alike. Laura also gives us the correct words, and she says they're homophones. I think. She's not 100% sure. Daniela, hello, Daniela. She says the two words, and she says they sound alike. Chris says they're homophones. Daniela says, top of the morning to y'all. I love it. Top of the morning to y'all. Now, Americans, I'll tell you about that top of the morning. Don't ever say that to an Irish person. Why? I'll tell you why. Because Americans, when we imitate Irish people, stereotypically, we say top of the morning to you. They don't like that. I know you're not doing it that way. I'm just telling you that Americans, I'm not allowed. No tengo permiso. I'm not allowed to go to Ireland and say to somebody, top of the morning to you, lad. Ask Fitz. Because then it's more of like saying, andale, going to Mexico and saying, andale arriba, epa, epa. It's stereotypical and maybe even racist. I mean, I personally, you can call me whatever you want. I don't get offended by anything, honestly. But I understand we don't want to offend people either. So just be careful with that top of the morning. It's usually used when Americans are poorly imitating Irish people. But I love it. You said it without the Irish accent. Top of the morning to you. Top of the morning to you too, Daniela. Chris says, entusiasta is correct, of course. Okay, I wasn't sure if you were telling me that it's better to say it as currante. So I just looked it up, but both are correct, is what you're saying. Okay, great, wonderful. Well, I trust you guys. I leave my Spanish in your hands. So si me dices que no es, no es, right? Pero también I always look things up on my own. All right, entusiasta is correct, of course. So wait, you're all saying that these two words sound the same. Well, Laura says, I think. All right, let's say both words. I'll sing the song. I traveled the world and the seven seas. Seas. Say it with me. Seas. Okay. Now I'm going to say carpe diem. Seize the day and travel the seas. Seize the day and travel the seas. Do they sound the same? Absolutely. 100%. Seize the day. Yeah, we also use seize when we talk about drugs or, contraband. The police seized 40 kilos of cocaine this morning at Barajas, right? To seize, incautar, embargar. But if you think of the whole idea as coger con fuerza, no es, bueno, voy a coger este boli. To seize is like grab más dos, okay? So that's why we use it. And an army can seize another army, right? And we also use it as aprovechar, right? He seized the opportunity, not just to seize the day, but to seize the opportunity. So yes, mares, seize, and seize, agarrar, aprovechar, they sound exactly the same. So wonderful job. Great job. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for today's Spelling Bee.
Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee.
All right, amigos. All right. Let's take a look at today's spelling bee. As you know, this is a very challenging section here on the show every day, but hopefully you guys will be able to figure it out. I have faith in you, and I know you guys should be able to get it. All right, here we go. The first round is reserved just for super show with no namers, because I fly through it in this round. When I say fly, I mean you're not even going to be able to keep up. No vais a poder seguir mi ritmo. Well, except maybe a couple of you. We'll see after this round one. Are you ready? Let's capitalize the first letter in each word. Here we go. The first word is ABYSSINIAN. The next one is AEGEAN. The next one is AMERICAN space BOBTAIL. The next one is ARABIAN space MAU. The fifth one, BALINESE. And the sixth one is RAGAMUFFIN. Do you know about Vaughn groups? Well, I'm going to tell you all about them. They are group English classes that you can do via video conference or in person. And the good news is you can start whenever you want. And you can keep the same timetable, teacher, and classmates throughout the whole course. And the best part, there's no strings attached. Sin compromiso. And if you act now, you can get a 5% discount for paying up front. And if you stick with the course for 6 months, you'll get a 50% discount in June. Wow, what a deal! As if you needed more reasons to learn English with Vaughn. Check out our Vaughn groups. Have fun and make friends as you learn English. Sign up now while there are still spots available. Call us 911-385831. Or you can go to our website, grupovon.com. And don't forget to follow us on social media and find out if Vaughn groups are for you. That's right, my amigos, Vaughn groups. Aside from our Vaughn groups, you've got one-to-one flex. You've got groups for kids on the weekends. That's the Vaughn Disney English. It's awesome. And if you want more information about any of our initiatives, just go to grupovon.com/cursos destacados. Also, if you're following us on social media, well, that's another way to make sure you are in the know, que estás enterado. You know what's going on in our Vaughn world that you are a huge part of course. All right, well, my amigos, let's take a look at our spelling bee. I've got some students who are taking a stab at it, and they think they've got what it takes. Let's see. Born to Iron Man is the first one. No big surprise here. Let's see if he got them all. The first one is correct. The second one, difficult one, but you got it. Mucho vocal ahí, eh? Y las que lían. Muy bien, tío. The next one is perfect. That's 3 out of 6. We're 50% right here. The next one is perfect. The next one is great. And the last one is correct. Excellent job. Born to Iron Man. Also, it looks like Laura and Chris Valrol as well. Wow. Holy shit. And Chris Valrol says cats. Yes. These are different breeds. razas. Para humanos decimos race. Para gatos decimos, o perros, decimos breeds, right? Raza de perro is a breed of dog. So these are different breeds of cats. And why did I choose cats today? Well, as many of you know, I'm more of a dog person, right? I love all animals, right? But if I have to choose, I'm more of a dog person. But there are two reasons that I chose cats. Number one, today in 1982, Cats, the musical, premiered on the West End in London. And folks, it ran for almost 18 years. Now, I hated this musical. My parents and I, when we went to go see it, I saw it with my family. We left at the intermission. We got half-price tickets. We left at the intermission. It was horrible. Now, it's not even a matter of if you like cats or don't like cats. It was literally horrible. But again, people must have loved it because it ran. I mean, now I think Les Miserables or another one took the record. But for many years, Cats had the record for the longest running musical. Then, after it closed on Broadway and on the West End, they had the brilliant idea of making a Cats movie. And let me just tell you the ranking here. IMDb, it has a score of 2.8 out of 10, the movie. Okay? And the movie has James Corden, can't stand him. Judi Dench, she's great. Oh, Taylor Swift is in it. Maybe that explains everything. No offense, Swifties, but, I don't know. If it was bad to begin with, and then you got James Corden in there, and I don't know. Well, 2.8 Rotten Tomatoes, which is, this is just normal people rating it, 19%. What? Yeah. So Cats, the musical that was a huge success, I don't know why. Maybe it was, the music, Andrew Lloyd Webber. But even that, I was like, okay, whatever. Andrew Lloyd Webber, Evita, he's done many other ones as well. But man, Cats. Now, reason two. You guys are the first ones to know this here, outside of my family. At the end of this month, we'll be getting a little kitten. My daughter, I should say my daughter and my wife, I was brought on afterwards. My daughter and I, my family and I, we are adopting, acogiendo, a little baby cat, a kitten. Now, it's not ready yet. I don't know the rules. I don't know much about cats, as I said. It doesn't mean I don't like them. Just always had dogs. And but I know that they can't separate the kitten from the litter yet. Okay, the litter is la cama, the group. Okay, the litter is the word. And so, but at the end of this month, we'll have a new member of our family, a little black kitten. My daughter chose it because there's a big litter there. A little black kitten. And are you ready for the kitten's name? The black kitten will be called Blanca. My daughter has a sense of humor, doesn't she? I swear to God. Le voy a llamar Blanca. So we're going to have a little black kitten named Blanca. Folks, we'll be right back with much more, so stick around. Hey, amigos, welcome back. Welcome back to part 4 of today's show with no name here on Vaughn Radio. This show is the cat's pajamas. ¿Te sabes esta expresión? El pijama del gato. The cat's pajamas. La bomba. That's right. You can also say, esta es muy británica, the dog's bollocks. Los huevos del perro. Te lo juro. This show is the dog's bollocks, mate. It's the cat's pajamas. Bueno, vosotros decís, es la leche, which is mierda, right? La leche. You're not talking about real milk. Or es la polla. Same kind of vulgarity. But again, that's very British. It's the dog's bollocks, mate. Los huevos del perro. It's the cat's pajamas. And don't forget to stay tuned after today's program. You'll have a class with the one and only Jimena Holiday. And she will test your English with our great friend Nacho. All that and much more on the Vaughn Radio app. Oh, and amigos in Valencia. I've got, I hate to be the bearer of bad news. El que trae la mala noticia. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but we are going to be going off the air. No vamos a estar en emisión. We're going off the air in Valencia. Now, why? Because I don't like you guys in Valencia, and I don't want to be on the air there. No, I'm kidding, obviously. Yo no tomo decisiones, obviously. Okay. Porque me caes fatal. No. Quite the contrary. I love Valencia, and I can't wait to go back to Valencia. And I wish we weren't going off the air in Valencia. But again, I don't make decisions. That's why I don't make the big bucks. None of that's my issue. That's, there are people who sit around, who dress up nice, se visten guapetes. They're called a committee, un comité, and they make all the big decisions. That's why they make the big bucks. And some decision was reached that we will no longer be on the air in Valencia. Okay, so I got to give you the bad news. I don't want to. But the good news is you can still listen to Vaughn Radio on the Vaughn Radio app. That's why I always say, if you've got the Vaughn Radio app, it doesn't matter where you tune in from, what city, what part of the world, you're always going to be able to listen if you have a connection, right? If you have data. So that said, my amigos, we will miss you on the radio waves in Valencia, but remember to join us. Do it now, Valencianos, before you forget. Download the Vaughn Radio app. This way, when we disappear off the airwaves there, you'll be able to follow along. Either way, traditional radio as we know it, not many people listen to traditional radio. They listen to a lot of their favorite programs via podcast, and the radio stations know that. I'm sure more people, I don't know, I'm just using an example. More people listen to La Ventana throughout the day than when it's on the air, right? Because you get all the people, I couldn't listen this morning. I want to hear the interview with tal persona. I'm saying La Ventana como si fuera la sed por la noche or whatever the hell the name of the programs are. But you catch my drift. So the best way to make sure you never miss a beat is to download the Vaughn Radio app. All right, we've got a lot to do here. So let's kick off with today's Double Trouble. Yeah.
Yeah, trouble,
Yeah,
baby.
yeah.
Yeah, you know what time it is. Give it up. Double trouble. I said double trouble. Double trouble. I said double trouble.
That's right, amigos. It's Double Trouble here on the show with no name, and let's see how you guys do. Now, this is a word we looked at, so you should be familiar with this word. Let's see. We looked at it, I think, last week, and if not, it was the week before, but pretty recently, because this is one of those words that I wrote down. Una de estas que apunté. You know, when I say, guys, here's a great double trouble, and I write it down, that means you're going to hear it on the show next. So, quiero que la bandera se oscile en el viento. Se ostile. I don't even know that one. Que se mueva, okay, en el viento. Que, let's look at another way to say it here. Que oscile, que se mezca, que balancea, que bambolea. Bamboleo, bamboleo, porque mi vida yo la quiero vivir así. I didn't know that bamboleo means that. Oh, look at that. So, the translation, quiero que la bandera se oscile en el viento. ¿No? Moverse, the word I just used, oscilarse, mecerse, balancearse, bambolearse. Okay, those are the translations from word reference. Okay? So, quiero que la bandera se oscile en el viento. No hay manera de que me vayas a influir de lo contrario. There you go. We looked at it last week. So, quiero que la bandera se oscile, o se oscila. I'm going to say oscile, en el viento. No hay manera de que me vayas a influir de lo contrario. You've got to use the same word twice in our double trouble. Also, let me give you the say what soundbite for the fourth and final time.
What for?
He's got a knife.
That's not a knife. That's a knife.
Shit.
Just kids having fun. You all right?
Listen carefully. Can you hear that? No. Listen closer. I'm not talking about the birds chirping. I'm talking about everybody speaking English and feeling comfortable. Listen. This is what it's like at Vaughan Town, a peaceful place where you can really learn English and lose your inhibitions. There's a reason it's one of our star programs. Vaughan Town, lose your fear of speaking English. If you want more information about this immersive experience, go to grupovaughn.com or give us a call, 911-385831. Lose your fear of speaking English and express yourself with clarity at Vaughan Town. That's right, my amigos. More information at grupovaughn.com/cursos destacados. Now, if you guys are in the chat right now, if you're on the live stream in el directo on YouTube, I'm showing you a picture of Blanca, the black kitten. So yes, at the end of this month, if all goes well, Blanca, the black cat, will be joining her new family. And look at, if you can see her, she has got gorgeous blue eyes. And I guess because she's black, they contrast a lot more. Hay mucho contraste con el negro y those cat's eyes that are just beautiful. So, yeah, my first cat, guys. And I told my wife and my daughter, of course, I'm going to help, but the cat's your responsibility. Well, I think it's important, too, to teach my daughter, you don't just have a cat. You have to take care of a cat, right? You have to feed it. So I think it's going to be a great learning experience, And so I'm excited. I think we're all excited to meet our new friend over here. I hope she is the cat's pajamas. All right, let's see some comments over here. Chris says, "Oh, a baby cat. I love the name." Yeah, my daughter's got a sense of humor. I've got to say it. Laura also says, "Wow, what a great addition to the family. Blanca, like the black cat Wilbur from the Winnie the Witch book." That's right, Laura. In fact, when we were reading the book the other day, my wife goes, "Winnie the Witch." And my daughter said, "Mommy, it's Winnie the Witch." No, it's witch, it's witch. So, Laura, not only is my daughter learning with the book you got us, but my wife's learning too, the real pronunciation of the word witch. Yeah, well, actually, I thought of that. I thought, wait a second. We just read a book that Laura gave us about a black cat, and now a black cat comes into our lives. As Chris said, beautiful pun, very punny, Chris Valrol. She says, "You just let the cat out of the bag." Y te llevas uno de esos también, ¿eh? Muy buena, Chris. Has dejado escapar el gato, no? You let the cat out of the bag. Let's see. Laura says, I'm sorry, Chris says, "Thank God we have the app." Yeah, you'll always have the app. I don't think they'll be closing the app or anything, but radio licenses, they're real. Again, I don't know very much about the decisions that are made, but I also know that it's not easy to get a radio signal, to keep it, to pay for it. And I imagine it was a financial decision in the end. But again, don't quote me on it because I've got nothing to do with any decision making, as you know. I just, do the show. I'm the monkey. I dance and, do my dance, and the other people make the decisions, right? Let's see. Laura says, "It's a pity for the people who listen from their cars." But why? My phone works in my car. I usually get a signal in my car. So, I mean, you can listen, right? The app, you can listen to it in the car, at the dentist's office, at the gym, as long as you have an internet connection. So, yeah, even if you do commute and you're used to listening to Vaughn on your commute, there's no reason you can't grab your phone and hit play instead of hitting play on. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, a lot of cars now, I don't know, I'm no expert here on cats and cars, but I think most cars these days, with like the click of a button or even your voice, you can connect your phone to your speakers in your car. So you can literally, there'll be no difference, right? There'll be no difference whatsoever if you can connect it to your, then you've got it on the audio in your car, but you've got it on the app. Of course, you need to have data, but I think you need that for anything, even to open up your Facebook or your Twitter, or WhatsApp, you need to have. You can still listen in your cars, obviously, if you have service, if you have coverage. Let's see. Daniela. Okay, Daniela's taking a stab at today's double trouble. Let's see how she did. Daniela says, "I want the flag to sway in the wind. There's no way you can sway me." Yes! Yes, yes, yes! Wow, Daniela, excellent job. She says, "I want the flag to sway in the wind. There's no way you can sway me. Y no me vas a convencer." Okay? Now, we looked at this word the other day. I can remind you when. When we looked at it in homophones, we looked at the word suede, right? La tela, suede terciopelo, I think it was. I can't remember it now in Spanish. Suede. Gamuza, you say. That's the word. I was laughing at the word. Gamuza. Hi, gamuza. Sounds like a funny word. So suede. If you remember that, suede, como el grupo Suede, you remember, he was swayed to listen to Suede. Fue convencido, influido para escuchar al grupo Suede. Daniela, wonderful. And Laura says, I want the flag to sway in the wind, but there's no way I won't hold sway. Oh, I don't know hold sway. Mira, me estás enseñando uno a mí. Dominar. No hay forma de que voy a dominar. Excellent. Dominar, right? Controlar. I didn't even know that one, Laura. To hold sway. Fíjate, Laura just taught me something in English. Yeah, to sway somebody's opinion. Think about it. Cambiar como una bandera, ¿no? If you visualize it, oh, no, ven por aquí, que sople para acá. Right? To sway somebody, para que hostilen a tu lado. Hey, if you can associate it, you'll never, ever forget it. And that's the key. So wonderful job, Daniela and Laura. All right, that was our double trouble. We already listened to our Say What soundbite. We need to do round 2 of our spelling bee, where we were looking at different breeds of cats. Remember, also, the verb to breed is procrear. So some people breed cats. La palabra técnica, lo aprendí, mamporrero. Some words you never forget, right? A breeder, somebody who breeds animals, makes them have sex, right? To breed. Y luego conocerás, I was born and bred, because to be bred es estar criado, ¿no? Educado. So breed, bred. Cuidado con ese verbo. Es súper irregular. Breed, bred. All right, let's take a look at these cat breeds in round 2 of our spelling bee. Let me just clear my throat. And here we go. Again, remember, I'm still a little under the weather, but I hope I feel a lot better. I hope I sound a lot better as well. And you don't hear me suffering too much. All right. The first one is ABYSSINIAN. The next one is AEGEAN. The next one, AMERICAN space BOBTAIL. The fourth one is ARABIAN space MAU. The next one, BALINESE. And the last one, RAGAMUFFIN. There you go, my amigos. Taking a look at some breeds there. The first one was Abyssinian. I don't know too much about cats here. Abyssinian. The next one is Aegean, from the Aegean Sea, I imagine. The next one, American Bobtail. The fourth one, Arabian Mau. The fifth one is Balinese. And the sixth one, que me gusta más que nada este nombre, es Ragamuffin. And a ragamuffin, te lo enseño, porque los otros no tienen otro significado, pero ragamuffin, aquí pone galopín, pilluelo, pilluela, right? It's like a little kid que está como con la ropa por todos lados, sin alinear. You know, a kid who's like all disheveled, scruffy. A ragamuffin. Muchas veces lo decimos para referirnos a niños cuando antes de su baño. Come on, get in here, you ragamuffin. All right, there we go, my amigos. Now it's time to move on, though, to another challenge, a challenge we call Famous Birthday Trivia. That's right, amigos. Famous birthdays. Oh, and I got a joke for you, Laura. A joke. You said the word mug before. To mug, no? Asaltar, robar, asalto. What is it called when you steal somebody's coffee? What is it called when you steal somebody's coffee? A mugging. Mug is la taza, and to mug. All right. Sorry, Laura, your vocabulary word reminded me of that joke. All right, number one, 24 hours to go. I want to be sedated, nothing to do, nowhere to go. I want to be sedated. Just put me in the airport and get me to the plane. Hurry, 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 before I go insane. I can't control my fingers, I can't control my brain. Oh, no, 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 no. Ba, 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 ba. I want to be sedated. Come on, guys. One of the most famous punk rock bands ever from Queens, New York City. And I love how you guys pronounce it. The way you guys pronounce the name of this band sounds like they're from Getafe. But they are from Queens, New York. And you know where they got their name? Because that's not their real last name. They went by the name, the same last name, right? But it's because Paul McCartney used to check into hotels with that alias. Con ese alias. And they said, oh, mola, pues nosotros nos vamos a dar ese apellido también a todos. And that was history. They've got the Blitzkrieg Bop, Blitzkrieg. They got so many songs, punk essentials. And this guy was the guitarist and songwriter. And he was born today in 1948. Number two, I'll say two movies, and you tell me if you know who this woman is. Alien, Ghostbusters. She's in, okay, so it's not one of the boys. I said she. Alien, Ghostbusters. And wow, she's been in so many other things as well. I mean, Avatar. She's been in Working Girl, The Ice Storm, Wall-E, Finding Dory, Copycat, Galaxy Quest. She's been on Broadway, and her last name is Tejedor. Tejedora. Mm-hmm. And last but not least, this guy is probably the most famous Australian ever, and he made the character Croc. He was huge. He was totally huge when I was a kid. You don't hear much from him these days. Let's see. Chris Valrol, you've got it. Number one. Number one is Johnny Ramone, or Ramones, as you say, the Ramones. Johnny Ramone. Number two, Sigourney Tejedora, Sigourney Weaver. And number three, Paul Hogan. And that'll bring us over to our Say What soundbite today. This was Paul Hogan in, I think, the most famous line out of all the Crocodile Dundee movies. That's not a knife. Eso no es un cuchillo y saca el suyo. And it's just a famous, famous line from movies that I think a lot of us remember with a lot of fondness, no? Con mucho cariño. So this is from Crocodile Dundee, and he says, "What for?" No, dale. She's like, "Give him your money. Give him the money." And he's like, "What for? ¿Para qué le voy a dar?" They're being mugged, as Laura pointed out, and she says, "He's got a knife." And he whips out or pulls out this huge knife, and he goes, "That's not a knife. That's not a knife. That's not a knife." Right? I'm going to try and do it my best Australian. "That's not a knife. That's a knife." And he pulls out his knife. And he goes, then after he, scares them, they run away. He goes, just kids having fun. Son solo unos chavales pasándolo bien. You all right? So he wasn't fazed at all. No le desconcertó nada el mugging. Here he is, birthday boy, Paul Hogan, a.k.a. Crocodile Dundee.
What for?
He's got a knife.
That's not a knife. That's a knife.
Shit.
Just kids having fun. You all right?
All right. You all right? I hope you're all right. Hope you had a good time. And I hope you'll join my friend Jimena Holiday up next in Test Your English. Don't forget, download the free Vaughn Radio app, and you can listen anywhere you want. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been an absolute pleasure. Even though I'm under the weather, you made this time fly by for me. So I thank you once again for being here, learning and laughing with me. We'll be back tomorrow with more. I promise. Ciao.